According to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, pedophilia is a word that means sex in which children are the preferred sexual object. More specifically, a psychiatric disorder in which an adult has sex about or engages in sexual acts with a prepubescent child. In the time the haunter community has existed, we've seen many come and go. Some people who lie low in the community, or some with disturbingly large followings, mostly made up of children. Today, I'm talking about who was at one time the haunter community's biggest creator, Jordan Hyde, known on YouTube as Jobeanvideos. Jobeanvideos started out his YouTube journey on December 24th, 2008, and then uploaded his first video 4 days later on December 28th, 2008, titled Singing Dancing Santas. For the next 4 years, Jordan would go on to create videos on all sorts of animated holiday items. He'd post Spirit Halloween items, rock-along Santa Clauses, and much, much more. In 2012, Jordan found out about child porn. He struck an interest in it, trying to find it and such. During an unknown year, Jordan was documented sending messages to an individual about someone named Edic, a young child he previously made videos with from 2014 to 2022. These messages read, "To be honest, when Edic was over, I felt that weird feeling that something seems strange, and I think it's just because I'm older and I hate it." Jordan continues, "Like, I really don't play with my stuff anymore. I'm not as interested. I have it all up for display, and someone playing with it is cool. Like, I really like Edic, but I started fearing something again. But like I said, I do get a little carried away being close to him, like really close. Sometimes he says something about it, and I say I'm sorry, and he says it's okay. He's nice about it, but if I don't get control, he might start to get really annoyed. When I touch him, he usually says, I think I feel like a brother to you, or something like that." Jordan has had several underage friends, being in his mid to late 20s and befriending several minors under 15, some looking not a day over 10. In 2019, Jordan had an ongoing friendship with a member of the Connor community by the name of Alexander Herrera, better known as Stranger Haunts on YouTube. At the time, Alexander was only 14 years of age, while Jordan was 23 years of age. As Jordan and Alex's friendship progressed, Jordan got extremely predatory toward this 14-year-old. Their conversations got very inappropriate, as seen in a screenshot message from one of Alex and Jordan's conversations. In the screenshot, Jordan can be seen saying, "OMG, hot," in reference to Alex, and going on to say, "Can I see?" Once this response led him to no avail, Jordan further proceeded to ask, "Please?" In the same chat, Jordan can be seen saying that he wants to be together in a relationship with this minor. In a group chat, Alexander proposed the idea of when the two of them meet up eventually, they should do a bowling party. In response, Jordan said, "Definitely, I'd hug and kiss you the whole time." He then went on to say, "We could hold hands under the table." This is a friendship that went on for a while, Jordan still making weird comments. Alex almost felt trapped in their friendship and went on to still be friends with Jordan for several years. Skip a few years, that was until the year of 2023, where screenshots of Jordan would be publicized for the world to see. Sometime during the early summer of 2023, Jordan would befriend freshly 18-year-old Luke Ingram, and Jordan would take a quick liking to Luke fairly fast. Their friendship did not last very long though, as on the night of June 25th, 2023, screenshots will be leaked publicly online of then 27-year-old Jordan saying very things about the just freshly 18-year-old Luke. One of the screenshots reading, "It's not illegal. Luke Ingram is 18 and I think he's hot as but he's straight. Still gonna try though. I'd let him." And another screenshot from that same conversation, he can be seen saying, "If you wanted to f me, I probably wouldn't deny it. I guess it's TMI, but I guess that's what happens when you've been a for 27 years. Now, keep in mind, the last two screenshots are what is being said to one of Jordan's victims, 15-year-old Lucas Kaiser, who we'll get into soon.
So my experiences with Jordan is at one point he thought I had something against him, which I do now, but this is back then. He thought I was making fun of him or something. I don't know, because I joked about him in group chat and made a post about him on one of my pages or something. So I tried to be friends with him to recover from that because I didn't want him to think I had anything against him. And so that led to him eventually joining our group chat, which is where this whole thing started. I would joke with Kyle and make jokes as a joke, and Jordan would say things like he's jealous or make inappropriate comments towards me about it. And then I'll get a message from Kyle with a bunch of screenshots of Jordan DMing Kyle what things he wants to do to me, and it was very sexual and explicit and made me feel uncomfortable. I didn't know how to feel about it. At first, I tried telling other people in group chat about it, and they were just let him pass. It's not a big deal. He's probably joking, something like that. And then more things started to come out, more screenshots, and we noticed that it was a serious situation. And eventually, you exposed him. We all got a bunch of screenshots of Jordan saying all kinds of shit about me and just a bunch of comments. I think the whole me making fun of Jordan, that thing came from his search history when he got leaked on the live stream.
On the morning of June 26, 2023, another batch of screenshots would be leaked. The first few having more messages of Jordan going on about how he has such a liking to Luke Ingram, reading, "I'd only want to be with a woman because I want my kids to have a normal childhood and stuff, but I'm definitely more into with guys." Continuing his statement with, "Maybe Luke would." The individual he's saying this to is only a minor, that individual being me. He would then later send me a long message, that message stating, "Hey man, how you been doing? I wanted to reach out to you because I finally feel genuine faith. My mental health has been declining rapidly for years to the point I almost made a decision that was going to ruin my whole life and everything around me. At the last minute, I trusted my gut feeling and didn't go through with my thoughts. I said no, and I told my mom everything. I'm getting therapy soon." But just saying no and saying I've had enough of living and thinking this was like everything okay, acknowledging my mistakes and that I have a problem. The light side of me came on and I'm starting to see things so clearly now. For years, my mind has been so clouded with negative and darkness was blocking the truth. I genuinely feel like I was falling into the devil's trap and I was so close to taking it. But when I said no, all my doubts and the guilt I've carried on my shoulders for years and the anger and guilt I was starting to feel about the decision I was about to make is unexplainable. And how fast it cleared up when I said no and said, "I'm not selling my soul to the devil. You can't have it." I 100% am now on board with getting help, and I am positive I will change and become better and healthy again over time. I've always had doubts about my faith and thought I was already past redemption, too far gone, and that I'm going to suffer eternally. I was convinced I was going to hell. I realized if I made the decision it would have been, and right now, it wasn't too late to turn things around. I was so close to losing who I am. I haven't been myself for years. I've carried hatred and guilt on myself forever, and it almost cost me everything. I finally accept the fact that I have issues and I am seeking therapy. He would then get on a call with me, explaining his child pornography addiction. Since 2012, according to Jordan himself, as I said earlier, he had an interest in watching child porn. On this call, he admitted to being attracted to children and even getting to prepubescent boys in public. More screenshots of his would come out, admitting to being in possession of child porn. Jordan became quickly notorious for lying. One screenshot reading, "I had a WhatsApp and it would automatically save CP to my phone when someone posted a video or picture. I tried leaving, but apparently an admin has to approve that on there, so I don't know if I'm out. I just installed it and I used my real number for WhatsApp." The leaving group part is a lie, as WhatsApp does not need an admin. Jordan could have easily left on his own. He then catches himself in a lie in a later message with me where he says, "I've been saving it all as well," referring to CP, like in my phone, contradicting his previous statement about WhatsApp automatically saving these images for him. In later messages, he gets more into his time watching CP, saying that stuff, referring to CP here obviously, is so bad because the more I watched it, the more normal it started to feel. And some of the CP like kids were genuinely enjoying doing that stuff, so it really confused me. He then proceeded to tell me, "There was a time I used to take photos of myself, and one time I uploaded a clip of my ass and deleted it so fast, but Ivan actually saw it. That was the most embarrassing thing ever, but it was on Jemmy Master Animatronics, so we didn't know whose it was." Please remember, I was and still am a minor, and he was at the time 27 years old. Now, what 27-year-old in their right mind would tell a minor this? Apparently Jordan Hyde. Jordan has quite the streak of telling minors intimate things. Another message Jordan sent to someone where he was explaining his crippling child addiction was leaked, where he states, "I'm going to admit something. This is what freed me. I was becoming a I recognized it before I was far gone. I had bad thoughts. You're the only one I never got bad thoughts of. Those things that were triggering me to make me feel that way, a switch was being flipped. It had to be activated. Just talking and hanging out doesn't activate it, but what I was watching was popping up in my feed, being friends with troubled kids with issues. That was setting me off. So now I'm aware I can stay away from it and never be triggered again. I never had intentions of them hurting me. I had visions of them doing stuff to me, and troubled kids activated that trigger because they are the only ones that could have the possibility of doing that. But I caught on to what was going on, and I'm 100% on board with getting therapy and changing. I've already changed and don't feel that way. Can't watch any porn of any kind, even adult porn, because that sets me off. Now, once all of these messages were leaked of Jordan admitting to owning C and all the other nasty things, he said, "I'm gonna give you all 5 seconds to guess how he reacted." A, he deleted all of his content off YouTube and never uploaded again. B, he posted a video explaining how much of a nasty pet hell he is and that he'll be quitting YouTube because of this. Or C, he manipulates all of his child friends into still siding with him, spying for him, even after there's been concrete evidence posted about his love for kids. 5 seconds on the clock, everyone. If you guessed answer C, you would be correct. What exactly did he do? He threatened to multiple people and then played the victim card. In messages he sent to 15-year-old legendary Lucas, he can be seen saying, and once my address is leaked, they're probably gonna try to send someone to my house to murder or swap me.
I met him in 2015 at Spirit, and I think he was just talking to my dad, something like that. There was some sort of conversation that was sparked about the animatronics, because I visited the store a bunch of the time and I watched all the videos online, and he told me about his YouTube channel. And at the time, I was like, I would have been like 7. He kind of recommended me which ones to buy, talked about them, helped me fix them, sold me some really cheap because he's trying to downsize his collection of his grandma's. I've been in calls with this man, and this man talking about shaving his pubic hairs and his body hairs, and it's like, well, I did not need to know that. One time I was in a call, and more specifically, he was talking about how he shaved his ass hairs. With a bunch of minors in the call, which is quite weird. I feel like I've had a couple of times where I've been like in calls with him or talking to him where he's made like really simple jokes, and I was like surprised that he made them. And I was witness to a group chat that I was in. I was in the group chat where he admitted to like watching that shit to like multiple people at a time. He always made an excuse. It's like, getting help. Well, you're getting help, but the damage is done. Yeah, anytime we played Gartic Phone or like any of the Discord games, he would put super weird answers and stuff. Usually size, usually having to do with him like naked.
If people harass you, you have every right to report them. Don't think it's weird that they think you're a victim of manipulation and abuse. If they truly believe that, why would they harass and attack who they think is a victim? That makes no sense. It's all about their egos and power that they want. Funny how he denies manipulating Lucas. Wow, Jordan, I really wonder if you did or did not. In more irony, Jordan goes on to say, well, look, they're doing the exact same to me. I made bad choices at times, we all have. I'm trying to grow and change from those mistakes. And I know you aren't a bad person either. You changed a lot, and if they're gonna bash you for things you did in the past and not notice the good you're becoming, that's not a you problem. I know a lot of those are lies. I think it was a homophobic and they just added and twisted stuff like they always do. Wow, Jordan, I'm sure you are not manipulating Lucas, not at all. Then Jordan is trying to isolate Lucas away from his friends. Seen here, Jordan says, the part where they mention past friends that claim you were taking advantage of Rory. It could be Alex Lore, Colton, or whoever you were having drama with when you were always talking to Rory. And Alex tried to expose you, so keep those things in mind. Also, for context, this is completely unrelated drama that involved people that were going after Jordan. So Jordan was trying to isolate Lucas from his friends because they would open Lucas's eyes to Jordan's behavior. But yeah, Jordan, I'm sure you really did not manipulate this 15-year-old boy in any way, shape, or form, buddy. Then he goes on and tries to paint me out as the bad guy, saying, Willow is the main one stirring this whole thing and threatening diss tracks on everyone that doesn't agree with him, and I told your dad that. Why would I go out of my way to make a whole song about someone if they don't agree with me on one thing? You're gonna see quite the pattern with Jordan lying in this video. He does illegal shit as well. He's had sex with lots of people. He does and gets high. He's underage doing illegal stuff. So first of all, why would he be lying about a minor's sex life or even commenting on a minor's sex life in the first place? As well, why should you be worrying about what I do privately? I could be doing illegal stuff underage, but you like doing illegal stuff with the underage. Then he tells this 15-year-old boy, every day I hear more stuff that isn't true. People are now saying that I dated a minor and like, bro, I haven't had any sexual experiences. Why would you tell a literal child this? This is a 27-year-old man. I don't know if by chance a whole Jemmy spinning snowflake snowman display end cap just happened to fall on him while he was growing up. But if you were a normal functioning human being, you wouldn't be telling literal children if you're a virgin or not. Then, in old Jordan fashion, he writes his long, barely grammatically correct paragraphs that sound like they were written by a barely functioning illiterate chimpanzee. I shouldn't even give him that much credit because chimpanzees are actually smart and aren't pedophiles. So I should correct myself and say maybe like a half of a dead horse. And not even the front end, like the rear end of a decaying horse. He writes to YouTuber Psychotic, Circus, and Savannah, "Can I talk to you? I know I said and looked at some really bad things, and I promise I'll never say or do anything like I did again. It is true that I'm seeking help and want to change and never be like that again. A lot of people don't believe it, but I really am sorry for the things I did, and I realize I had an issue and I want to be better than that and get helped. That's not who I want to be as a person. I've made mistakes and I want to learn and grow from them. Everyone that knows me in real life knows everything that's happened and are working on helping me. I understand you may never respect me again, and that's okay, but I'll always support you forever, and I hope we can still get along. I've always looked up to you, and I don't want that to change." Now, of course, since Savannah didn't get his brain smoothed out with a windshield scraper when he was 4, unlike Jordan, he was not very merciful or nice with him in response to this message. He did not at all accept his quote-unquote apology and sent a message to him back, which I forever commemorate him for. I won't show it simply because I don't know if he wants it to be out there or not, but I really do fully agree with the message that he did send. Jordan went to a psychiatrist, and they ended up telling him that he had ego-dystonic intrusive thoughts. If you don't know what that is, according to lizohealth.com, ego-dystonic thoughts are the opposite of what one actually intends to do. Now, you notice how it said the opposite of what one intends to do, right? Jordan very much intended to prey on children, because at this point, we have nearly 5 years of evidence documented of him grooming and preying on children. Now, what does him having this diagnosis mean? That he just straight up lies to a psychiatrist. This is a very frequent pattern you're gonna see in his kooky, crazy mental health adventures, as I'm convinced he's just lying to himself at this point. Sometime after this, Jordan would pull a whole new diagnosis that he also lied to his therapist to get, saying now he has POCD, which stands for obsessive compulsive disorder. Now, what is this, you may ask? Thankfully, Jordan sent photos of the packet he received regarding information about it to one of his e-kittens. Here is a photo from the packet reading, "Are you a pet? You suffer from POCD. Pet derives pleasure from pet thoughts versus pet OCD, shocked, disturbed, and repulsed by thoughts of harming/being attracted to children." Now, you can already tell right off the bat that Jordan literally embraces his pet thoughts, considering all the child he's in possession of and the proof of him grooming multiple minors. Getting more specific in a pet OCD, here the packet reads, "Pet OCD can cause people to have intrusive thoughts about whether or not they have sexual feelings towards children. This isn't to be mistaken with people who have pet disorder. These thoughts are often so disturbing those with OCD precisely because the thought of having these feelings is repulsive to them and completely out of sync with their identity." From what we've learned so far, these thoughts are not out of Jordan's personality, and he's quite fine with having them, considering his past with kids. Now, a response to having POCD is the avoidance of children, but considering Jordan is friends with all children, and I'm in possession of a 24-minute-long video of him at a 6-year-old kid's birthday party around and playing with all children, I don't think this is really true. I can't show a good chunk of that video because he's literally just filming half-nude children for 24 minutes. Keep in mind, this is almost an 1,000 megabit file. We know from all of this and other stuff we've collected that Jordan is most definitely not scared of children whatsoever. Another very good example to why Jordan is not scared of young children is in 2022, Jordan met a very young Jace, known on YouTube as Jasecoolkid. Jordan would go on to make tons of videos with him and even give Jace a whole phone, partly to make videos on the YouTube channel that Jordan managed. Jordan was 27 years old, and Jace was, and at the time still currently is, under the age of 13. Jordan was known to act very weird with Jace among members of the Haunter community and the Jimmy community. In a text interview I got with Jace, he stated, "So basically we met in 2022. He acted very nice when I first met him, and then I thought it was kind of weird hanging out with a 27-year-old man. Pretty much every day, he kept coming by my house to hang out, and he consistently looked at my friends and I weirdly. One day when we were hanging out with my friend, I caught him taking a picture of my friend's butt. And then I thought it was super weird, so then I just stopped hanging out with him. He lives right next to me. As of today, Jordan still uploads on YouTube. He still unfortunately does have an audience, still all of children, but it's definitely sized down since he's gotten exposed. It honestly disgusts me that his managers still allow him to work at Spirit Halloween and that they aren't doing anything about firing him, as they know all about the child porn stuff he got exposed for this summer. Spirit Halloween Corporate, since I know you guys watch some of these videos, please fire Jordan Hyde for all the stuff mentioned in this video, and please fire his managers for knowing what's happening and still continuing to let this predator work at the store. Since it's nearly the end of 2023, I want to thank all of you for giving me my best year on YouTube yet, and I'm wanting to make 2024 an even better year. I definitely am going to be working on some great content that I can't wait for all of you to see. You guys definitely will not be disappointed next year. Also, this is late, but I want to thank you all so much for 500 subscribers. As well, thank you for 500 followers on Instagram. I do appreciate it a lot. With all that being said, this has been Will Loves Halloween. Thank you all for watching. Goodbye. I see y'all talking big game, but don't wanna play. 100 community pedos, y'all just all the same. Jordan High don't want someone close to his age. He likes them preteens, 12 in a week. Not the same as Anthony Goulas. She likes him under 17. Real name Michael G. His records not so clean. Room is 16-year-old while he looks 53. Pushing 40 like his hairline. He don't got no green. Next up on the chopping block, Mr. Holiday. Real name Garrison. I could go in all day. 49, 25, went for quarters where he stays.